Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and honestly, whoever's watching today. First BFR of the season. We have a different angle here. As you can see, I have this board set up on my left, be on the right of your screens. But you can see the 1 to 8. You might be able to see some teams here with Anaheim, Florida, Pittsburgh, and Tampa. That right there is the power rankings board, which was supposed to go up yesterday. My camera, for whatever reason, was not recording anything. Like anything I said, anything I was showing on screen. It was just a black screen. So that video is not going to go up now until probably the end of preseason. Also, there's going to be, when that video goes up, there's also some injury news that I didn't really consider when putting these power rankings together. And I kind of already did my division prediction, so it's kind of too late to change. But I will put an asterisk on the ones that I think might change when I do that video. And this is not a lot of people are going to watch this compared to that, so I'll explain it again there. Preseason Game 1 versus the St. Louis Blues. Hockey is back in Chicago. We are the last team to start preseason. We also play some of the least amount of preseason games with only 6. I know, for example, Toronto plays 8. The broadcasters for this season will be Chris Vosters and Darren Pang. Darren Pang coming over from the St. Louis Blues, and of course he's been on TNT. Was it TNT or ESPN? I think it's TNT. He's been on one of those, and he's come over to be a part of the Blackhawks broadcasting, which is great. Darren Pang's a big fan of his, former Blackhawk as well. Maybe do a career video on him. September 28th at 7:30 p.m. preseason Game 1 started for the 2023-24 season versus the St. Louis Blues, and the Hawks win. Bedard's debut in the preseason, the Hawks win 2-1 in overtime. Shots were 31-25 Chicago. Power plays 0-2 for Chicago, 0-3 for St. Louis. Hits were 22-20 St. Louis. Faceoffs 21-18 St. Louis. Hofer saves 19 out of 20, and Cranley saves 12 out of 13 for the St. Louis goaltending. Mrazek saves 8 out of 8. Was not challenged really at all. And then Comesso comes in. I was really surprised Comesso was playing. I was really happy about it. Saves 22 out of 23. Played pretty well. Made some really good stops. The lines were for the game as follows. On the line 1, you had Taylor Hall, Connor Bedard, and Ryan Donato. So you had Donato in that right wing spot. We'll see if he'll stay there. On the second line, you had Kurashev, Reichel, and Athanasiou. Reichel at center was something I heard whispers about, but I wasn't sure if it was true. Reichel at center, you got the Bedard and Reichel, that youthful center group right there, and I'm really excited about that. Kurashev slots right in, then instead of the third line left winger, he goes up to the second line. Of course, Ryan Johnson's got, or not Ryan Johnson. Where did Ryan Johnson come from? Tyler Johnson's going to slot into that top 6 most likely as well. And then you have on the third line Corey Perry, Mishiak, and Foligno. Corey Perry in a Blackhawks jersey looked bizarre, to say the least. Nick Foligno, not as badly, but Corey Perry in a Hawks jersey, there was 10 years ago we were booing him nonstop. And then you had Lardis, who had a pretty good game, I thought. Marcel, and Reese Johnson on the fourth line. Marcel, and then you got Ivan, I think he's a Detroit draft pick. These guys with the same first and last names, that's pretty funny. And then in the D-core, the first pair was Kaiser and Seth Jones. I only have to say Jones now because Caleb Jones is gone. Second defensive pair was Korchinski and Murphy, which I thought did pretty well. And then the third pair was Allen and Vlasic. Of course, Nolan Allen was the first ever 32nd pick in the 2021 NHL draft. That was the pick we got for Seth Jones, because that pick ended up being Tampa's, who won that season. So yeah, and then Vlasic, native kid, so good to see him here. Goalies were Mrazek and Comesso, as previously mentioned. And then on St. Louis was Hugh McGing, who I have a personal connection to. I know I went to school with someone who is cousins with him, so I do have a personal connection there. Then first period, we'll start finally getting to the game. We're 4.5 minutes in, and we're finally getting to the game. Bedard dangles and makes a good save. He broke someone's ankles about 5 minutes into the game. And every time he got the puck, there was an aura. It's going to be like this for the rest of the season, I can guarantee. Bedard is something special, and he showed that off in this first game. Thomas had a shorthanded break that was over the net because at 10:24, it's a St. Louis penalty to Buchnevich for holding, which would be killed. And it was, not going to lie, nothing really happened in the first period besides that. We go straight to the second period. 18:24, Chicago penalty to Korchinski for holding, which would be killed. Seth Jones is denied. 13:27, it's a Chicago and St. Louis penalty because there was a huge hit by a St. Louis player and that ended up in a big scrum. So Perry and Skinner get the roughing penalties. And then somehow the Hawks get the extra one at 13:27 out of that. Perry gets an extra penalty for roughing. And then at 12:38, that's Lardis has a shorthanded break, but Buchnevich slashes him and takes him down. So it's 4-on-4 for a minute and 11 seconds. Everything would be killed off. Skinner hits Mishiak with in the jaw with his shoulder, and he goes to the dressing room, and he would return, no concussion issues. Luckily, it's protocol that when there's a hit to the head, that they have to take him back. That's kind of what caused that scrum to begin with, and yeah, Skinner with the headshot, and still no penalty. Comesso goes in halfway through the game. Kaiser's denied. Reichel is saved. 9-11, Chicago goal. Philip Kurashev with the first of the preseason from Bedard and Korchinski. Two guys I want to have jerseys of in my future. I kind of want, right now I'm looking at for jerseys, I want Reichel in red, Bedard in white, Korchinski. If it ever comes in black, if they ever get that third black jersey that Danny Wirtz has been teasing now, I want Korchinski on there. And if they do a Centennial jersey, I get Comesso on there. I got the whole next core set ready to go. But anyway, moving on from that. 32 seconds left. Chicago penalty to Allen for interference, which would be killed. And we'll go to and we're not done yet because I apparently just oh yeah, never mind, we're good. A minute and 28 seconds is left on the power play going into the third. 11 minutes. It's a St. Louis snipe goal. Robert Thomas, first of the preseason from Buchnevich. So that ties the game up at 1-1. Delay of game went uncalled on Chicago. Either it must have been tipped or they just missed it because it looked like the Comesso shot a puck that kind of went over the glass. Game was starting to get scrummy. Guys were starting to get on top of each other. The rivalry was truly there. Korchinski just missed with the McKing had the block that ended up getting. Korchinski was in on a 2-on-1. McKing had a huge block there. 6:34, Chicago and St. Louis coincidental penalties. Foligno for roughing, Nick Ritchie for cross-checking. 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Ritchie and Foligno ended up getting scrummy. Buchnevich with some chances, and Comesso with multiple saves. Comesso was looking really good. Bedard had a breakaway save. When Bedard got that breakaway late in the game, if he put that in, that might have been the loudest a building has been from a preseason game. Hall had a chance that was saved in the final minutes. And you go with overtime, where Bedard shoots wide early. It seemed like Bedard was destined to score the winner here. Donato going around a couple times, he's saved. Comesso with a fantastic pull check. St. Louis wins the game if he doesn't pull that off on Robert Thomas. That was just a fantastic play by Comesso. Goalie of the future, it looks like indeed. Hall to Kaiser was denied. Bedard has a chance that's saved. But then at 57.2 seconds left of overtime, it's a Chicago breakaway goal. Andreas Athanasiou gets his first of the preseason from Bedard and Seth Jones to make it 2-1. Bedard with the quick pass, he gets over the line. He sees Athanasiou going in, goes right to him. Athanasiou, little deke, goes around, puts it over Cranley, and the Hawks win their first game of the preseason. And pretty good game overall. After the first period, after the first period, it started to get more of a real feeling to it. But there are some quotes. I might pause right here to see if I could find these, or I might just look them up on my phone real quick, because there have been numerous quotes from just some funny stuff with Bedard. He's been all over Instagram, if you see. Here's a quote that I'm going to credit NHL Breakers for this. "I wasn't very good. I can be a lot better. Hopefully I'm able to make the team and show I'm better than that." And that was Bedard after getting 2 assists in his preseason debut. What else can you ask for a guy in his preseason debut? A lot of people are saying he didn't score a goal bust. Obviously, they didn't see the assists. Then there were some other quotes I saw earlier. Let me see if I could find them real quick here. There was just a lot of quotes. People are going crazy over Bedard right here. And then there's the quote on Connor Bedard on avoiding eye contact with the bench in OT to stay on. "I like hockey." Now people are printing shirts of I like hockey. This guy is going to be incredible. His personality is great. And now that we've finally seen him on ice and we know what he's capable of, people are even more excited in this city than ever. I've already planned some games I might be going to this season, which I'll talk about more when I get to the regular season. But for now, 2 preseason games over the weekend to get to. And then we got 3 more then after that. Preseason power rankings will be going up eventually, I pray. And other than that, that's really all I have for you guys today. So BFRs are back for the 3rd season. It's crazy I've been doing this for going into the 3rd season now. Next page will be set. I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the new view for this one, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.